tonight we meet Major General Calmer, in charge of Hyperbase 7 in the area of Saturn. His hobby is breeding oxygenated roses. As a matter of fact, this one was flown into me this morning. But life on the General's research station is not all rose breeding. His team includes a group of nesters, robot slaves manufactured by man. And something quite unpredictable happens amongst those slaves in tonight's story, Little Lost Robot.
This. Well, come on. Oh, yes, just stand there. That's right, you're enjoying it, aren't you? Oh, get out. I can do without you. You robots. Go on, get out of my sight. I don't want you here. Oh, didn't you hear what I said? Get yourself out of here and don't bother to come back. Get lost. Get lost.
A bleak outlook, General.
Yes. They tell me our Hyperbase 7 has the bleakest landscape of all.
The area of Saturn.
But don't you ever travel at all?
We have our work cut out here, Dr. Calvin.
On the great interstellar project.
But that started 20 years ago.
Yes, 2019. I came here in that year. It was my first command. Are you a traveler, Doctor?
Dr. Calvin has left Earth for the first time.
What, the first time?
Oh, yes, it's true. I've never had any ambition to see the universe. All my work has been in the laboratory. Does that surprise you?
Well, frankly, it does, for someone who is as celebrated as you are in the field of robot psychology.
Yes. I'm still waiting to hear why we had to come.
You make excellent coffee on Base 7, General.
Thank you. Actually, I have a little stellar liqueur that we manufacture up here. Would you...
Later, perhaps.
Yes. Well, naturally, one doesn't send for the director of Universal Robot Corporation and the leading robot psychologists just to partake in a glass of home-brewed liqueur. As you must have realized, Doctor, we are in very grave trouble here. We have lost a robot.
Lost? I don't understand.
However, we have found the robot. I'm sorry, I expressed myself badly. We have located the robot. Located, not found.
General, don't you think it's time you told me exactly what has happened?
3 weeks ago, Doctor, out of a group of robots working here on a special project, one disappeared. A nester.
I see.
At the same time, a cargo ship carrying 20 robots arrived here in transit for Hyperbase 41.
That's priority 1 on the great project.
They were in Dock 3, and they were to leave 3 days later. They are still there.
In spite of the urgency?
Yes.
Why, General?
Because after turning over every blade of grass, so to speak, in search of our nester, Mr. Black, my chief engineer, had the bright idea to count the number of robots in the cargo ship. Instead of 20, there were now 21.
You mean...
The general means, I think, that the home-based nester had found his way to the cargo ship and had joined the other 20 nesters who were destined for Hyperbase 41.
Yes, that is exactly what I mean.
Well, in that case, what's your problem? Is that why you made us come? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Weren't the nesters marked? I mean, why not check their serial numbers?
The nesters in question did not have any serial numbers.
What, neither your own nor the 20 in transit?
No.
Well, why not?
For strategic reasons. Now, look, Susan,
Never
there's
mind.
certain
It seems
aspects
to
of
me
it.
that you have 21 nesters instead of 20. What's to prevent you from taking any one of the 21 and letting the others go on? There's no difference between one nester and another.
I don't know how I'm going to say this. Bogart.
No, carry on.
There is something else, then.
Yes,
Well, what? What is going on here?
Doctor. The robot hiding among the other robots is not an ordinary nester. It is a modified one.
Modified? How do you mean?
The modification is in the first law of robotics.
But the first law is immutable.
Well, it's not immutable any longer. The modification was essential for the strategic task being carried out here.
As you know, the first law states that no robot can harm a human being, neither can he allow a human being to be harmed.
I should know, General. I formulated the law.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the few robots employed here,
On your special work.
that's right, were built with this law slightly changed. They still can't harm a human being, but they can now allow a human being to be harmed. It is a small modification.
Small?
Susan, it can't make that much difference.
Oh, mathematically, perhaps not, but think of it psychologically. All normal life, Peter, resents domination. If the domination is by an inferior, the resentment grows stronger. Well, physically, and to some extent even mentally. A robot, any robot, is superior to a human being. What then makes him obedient? Only the first law.
I wonder.
Otherwise, he's a killer. Did you know about this beforehand?
About what?
That robots were being manufactured with the first law reduced to utter uselessness?
Susan, I wouldn't put it like that.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Did the World Controller?
No. No.
Well, then why? Why was this done in the first place?
There is nothing sinister about it, Doctor. It's just that my chief engineer, Mr. Black,
Oh, Mr.
felt
Black again.
that the law as it stood interfered with his work on the great project.
So Mr. Black had it changed.
Yes.
Brilliant. Don't you realize this is not a mechanical toy you're playing with? It's the positronic brain. When did all this start?
3 months ago.
So you want me to find for you, among 21 identical robots, without serial numbers, one whose first law has been tampered with, who knows this, and who, for reasons of his own, is unwilling to come forward.
Yes, Doctor, that is about it.
And if he's not found?
Well, then the consignment can't be sent. And we have lost 21 robots.
And you have lost your stars, General. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I think perhaps you'd better give me a glass of that liqueur you were talking about. I need it now.
Ah, splendid.
You, a scientist, Peter.
That was a long time ago.
It was only yesterday. What happened to you, Peter?
Naturally, Doctor, we will give you every assistance possible.
Yes, thank you.
It only remains for me to say now that if this consignment does not reach its destination, then the whole of the interstellar project will be jeopardized.
You know, General, I don't care very much about your great project. I don't even care very much about human beings. But I do care a very great deal for every lost robot. And that, General, is why I shall stay. It's good.
Oh, thanks.
Hasn't happened since I've been here.
What?
That silence.
That's a great silence.
But Mr. Black, I thought the project was everything. I don't know why we've stopped.
There's been an accident. There's one too many of them.
Yes, I know that, but so what?
Now listen, Walensky. I've been working with these fellas. I've been with them from 2021 onwards. You won't get anywhere by treating them like glass. They get ideas. They get out of hand. What can you expect, though? Directives come from Universal Robots. Do this, do that. Whatever you do, don't upset them. So, trouble. People in charge down there, what are they? Mathematicians? Oh, the robot psychology department. The head shrinkers. And they're doing to robots what they've done to us. They're supposed to be robots, for Pete's sake, not a bunch of prima donnas.
Oh, what would you do about it then?
Me?
Yeah.
I'd send them on to Hyperbase 41. Let him try it on when he gets there. Just let him try.
What's the General going to do?
He's done it already.
What?
He's got Dr. Calvin to do it for him.
Is that the,
The robot lover herself. Talk of the devil.
Black,
Yes, sir?
switch on the infra.
Right, sir.
Any news?
No.
Did you interview them again?
Yes, sir?
Any reaction?
No, nothing.
Did you develop the radio tests?
Yes, negative.
He seems to be playing with us. Well, you better get the radiation field ready. We'll see what Dr. Calvin can do.
Yes, sir.
Well, they look innocent enough.
Have they been questioned?
Yes, and the computers have analyzed the answers. They're all identical.
Yes, except that one of them is lying.
Susan, what would you have done if you had known?
That they were being modified?
Yes.
I would have prevented it.
Look, the modified nesters will be destroyed once the need for them has gone.
And when will that be?
When the interstellar situation returns to normal.
Peter, you make it sound like something out of the 20th century and just as believable.
Doctor, we are just going to switch on the infra. All right, Black.
No use. I'll have to see them all individually.
The interview room is all set up for you.
This looks rather dangerous.
It's a hoist for the solar equipment.
I have a horror of accidents.
Oh, it's quite safe. It's controlled from the gallery.
I'd like to have a word with your Mr. Black.
Yes, of course. You'll find him upstairs in the gallery.
Then may I see you back in your office?
Certainly.
I think I have an idea, General.
Remarkable woman.
Yes. In the whole history of post-atomic science, I don't think I've seen a finer example of
What?
human identification with a positronic brain.
Is the lady married?
No. Why?
Nothing. Remarkable woman. Wish we had more time.
That That lever controls the hoist.
It's adjustable.
Yes.
Well, go on. Tell me, explain.
I don't know what you want, Dr. Calvin.
What are they like?
What to work with?
Mm-hmm.
The modified nesters?
Yes.
Irritating.
Of course, you're the genius who first thought of the modification, aren't you?
Dr. Kelvin, I don't care what happens in your experimental chambers, but it's hell here. You have to have nerves of steel. You can't fool about with hyperspace. One false step and you're out. You've blown a hole right through the space-time fabric and that's it.
I don't understand you.
I mean, it's not surprising that one's nerves get on edge. You can grant me that, at least.
Yes, I'll grant you that.
And then they come along. The nesters. All robots have this thing. The modified ones even more. It's a terrible calm. An air of total abstraction. Or superiority, if you like. Walensky, isn't that so?
Oh, yeah. They sort of look right through you.
And that's what happened, you see. I was having some trouble with a solar converter, and he came along. He just stood there, not saying anything. I was going mad trying to get the thing to work again. I suddenly couldn't take it any longer. I let him have it. I told him what I thought of him. I told him to get lost.
And that's just what he did.
Well, naturally, your precious second law saw to that. Only now, you see,
What?
he's doing it out of spite. Well, obviously.
You know, Mr. Black, the trouble with you is you don't like robots. And I don't think you ought to be working with them.
I know more about robots than you... I tell you, I know the inside of a swine.
You only know what you love, Mr. Black. I don't think you know anything about them. Did you know that they could be hurt just by the tone of a voice?
Yes, I know everything about them.
But you can't tell one from the other.
Can you?
I'm going to, Mr. Black.
Like robots. Love robots. In heaven's name, look at them.
Nothing grows here, of course, except these oxygenated roses. Actually, I've grown some rather lovely varieties.
Yes, they're very fine, General. I've never known them grow on a space station before.
Now, General, I think I have a plan of action for you.
Good. Well,
Well, my idea is this. As soon as it can be arranged, a man is going to be placed under that heavy hoist in the radiation hall. The nesters will be facing him. The weight is then going to be released, but will be stopped just before it reaches him.
how will this affect the nesters?
Well, in obedience to the first law, which does not allow them to see a human being harmed, I expect 20 of the nesters to move forward to his rescue and 1 to remain behind. And that will be the one you are looking for, General.
Clever.
Well, it's almost too simple.
The science of robotics, General, is designed to provide simple answers to immeasurably complex questions.
When do you want to start, Susan?
Well, now, if the General is prepared to give the word.
Radiation Hall. General Kellner. Give me Black, the chief engineer.
The General grows roses here.
Roses?
Yes, oxygenated ones.
Do you think he'll give me one?
He might. At the end of the experiment.
Comfortable?
Mr. Black,
Yeah.
is this thing safe?
Oh, look, I tested it. Do you want me to go over it again?
I don't know.
Oh, don't be a fool. This is only a mechanical problem. We can at least cope with those here.
What's the drill?
I'm going up in the gallery to test the intercom. Now, you just stay where you are. Don't do anything. Don't move, will you?
Mr. Black, I don't like the look of them. I'll be sure it's home. If I'd known what space was like, I'd have stayed right down there. Hey, listen, why didn't she sit under this thing? It was her idea.
I expect she will. Look out. Here comes her ladyship.
Computers?
Yes, sir.
Radiograph?
Yes, sir.
Vid screen?
Yes, everything's ready, sir.
Rather a brilliant idea, don't you think? The modified one doesn't move and the others have to.
Oh, yes, of course. We hope he will, sir.
All set, Walensky?
Well, I haven't got much choice in the matter, have I, General?
Switch on the infra.
Right, sir.
Oh, what are the odds?
20 to 1.
I should keep your money, General. This isn't a game.
Ready? Start the countdown. 10 seconds from now.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Switch off.
They've all come forward.
Graphs?
They're identical too, sir.
Doctor, graphs identical. What went wrong?
He's playing with us, Peter. He knows what we're up to. He knows enough to pretend that he's like the others. He's watching us. He's watching us. He's watching us. He's watching us.
Don't worry, General. Dr. Calvin knows how to handle robots.
Ah, there you are, Doctor. Where have you been? I was getting anxious.
You're very solicitous, General.
Yes, I'm concerned about you.
Me? Why?
I think you're running a terrible risk.
But why, General?
Because this robot now knows who you are. He knows that you're trying to find him.
Then perhaps he'll oblige me. General, tell me, what is the latest date by which the other robots have to leave here?
Tomorrow night.
Now tell me again, what would be the risk of including the modified Nestor in the consignment?
Incalculable.
If we fail, we must destroy all the nesters.
Then they simply must leave here without the modified Nestor.
That doesn't tell us what to do.
I've done it already.
Done what?
I've asked Mr. Black to fix up an electric cable in the radiation hall between the Nestors and Walensky.
Why?
I reserve my explanation.
And on whose authority did you do this?
Look, General, I have not provoked this situation, but since I have been called in to clear up this mess, I shall use such methods as I see fit.
I see. Oh, very well.
The cable should be ready by now. Shall we go?
The mills of Dr. Calvin grind slowly, but they grind exceeding small.
All connected, Mr. Black.
Right, stand clear of the cable, Walensky. I'm going to test the spark.
What's the idea now?
Another of Dr. Kelvin's little experiments?
Me again?
Looks like it.
Hey! doing with the robots?
Playing with the infra? It makes them dizzy.
Don't do it.
You're getting sentimental?
I don't know. Anyway, what's it for?
It's my method. You see, there are all sorts of methods.
Now listen to me, Nesters. Are you listening? You've all seen these preparations going on. I want to tell you what it's all about. As in our previous experiment, a heavy weight is going to be dropped right over the head of a human being.
She can say that again.
Only this time, a high voltage cable has been placed between you and the human being. High voltage, as you know, is deadly to all robots. The electric current will be switched on as soon as I reach the gallery and will continue for the whole of the experiment. You understand? Right. You all know what to do. I don't need to remind you. I don't like doing this, Peter.
Why, what are you doing?
Using the laws of robotics unethically. Switch on the cable, please, Mr. Black. Now, General, this time the modified Nestor is not going to cheat us. It is we who are going to do the cheating. All the robots know that by moving to the rescue of a human being, they're going to die. But the first law gives them no alternative. Only the modified one knows that he does not have to move. This time, General, he is going to remain still.
Because of the modification?
Because the modification means that he alone knows that he does not have to sacrifice his life. Actually, of course, the electric current will be switched off before they start to move. But they don't know that.
Ready, Black?
Yes, everything's ready.
And we'll start the second countdown.
Right, sir.
A moment of truth, Doctor.
As you say, General.
Ready, Black? 10 seconds from now.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Not one of them moved.
Have you checked the infra?
Yes, of course. Everything went according to plan.
Except that not one of them moved.
I should like to see all the Nestors again, one by one. Please get the interview room ready.
What now?
Yes, now.
What's the good of talking to them if you want my opinion?
I
you're
am not
wasting your time.
interested in your opinions, Mr. Black.
Susan.
Come with me, Peter. I'm in a hurry.
General, do I have to go on taking orders from Dr. Kelvin?
I'm afraid we'll have to leave things to her.
I have a couple of ideas.
Such as?
Third degree.
Not while the doctor is here.
Why? Because it would be unethical.
No, my dear Black, because it would be unwise.
In view of the Octagon, General?
No. In view of the world controller.
Yes, I see, sir.
Well, I suppose I better put on my best smile and rejoin the scientists. Oh. Why should I? I'll go and see my roses.
What now?
Hmm? Oh, she's going to talk to them. She's going to appeal to their better natures.
Interviews, Peter. 14 interrogations with identical replies.
One of them could be lying.
Yes, I don't know which. I've never failed with a robot before.
And there are 7 more. Do you want the next one in?
Yes.
Next.
I want to ask you a few questions. Now, you were in the radiation hall about 2 hours ago, right?
Yes,
There was a man there who nearly came to harm, wasn't there?
yes,
And you did nothing about it.
no,
That man might have been gravely hurt because of your inaction. You know that, don't you?
yes, I couldn't help it.
I want you to tell me why you did nothing about it.
I don't want you to think, anyone to think, that I would allow any human to come to any harm. No, no,
Don't
no.
get excited. I'm not blaming you. I just want to know exactly what you were thinking at the time.
Before it all started, you told us that one of the humans would be in danger from the weight falling, and that we would have to cross the cable if we were to save him. Well, that wouldn't stop me. But I thought that if I died on my way to him, I shouldn't be able to save him anyway. The weight would crush him, and I should have died without cause.
You mean that the alternative was between the man dying and both the man and yourself dying, is that right?
Yes, it was impossible to save the human, so it was inconceivable that I should destroy myself for nothing, without orders.
You know, Nestor, I've now heard the identical explanation 15 times, and I still don't believe it. It's not the sort of thing I would have expected you to think. Nestor 15. Did you think of this all by yourself? Check the written, Peter.
No,
Who thought of it then?
we were talking before the experiment began, when it was being prepared.
The infra wasn't switched off.
No,
You were talking?
yes, one of us got the idea and it sounded reasonable.
Which one?
I don't know, just one of us.
Try to remember.
I don't know, one of us.
All right, that's all. You may go.
Thank you.
Do you want the next one in?
No, no, what's the use? Have them all dismissed.
Dismiss the nesters and wait for further instructions. Do you think there will be further instructions?
Now do you see, Peter? What it means to tamper with the positronic brain?
Tamper?
We'll modify the nesters, you thought. After all, the generals insist it's only a small alteration. We'll wash our hands of the whole thing the moment it's done. We'll forget all about it. The positronic brain is the most subtle man-made mechanism in the universe. You play with it at your peril. Peter, do you realize what we're faced with?
Well, I have a certain premonition.
Premonition, Peter, I'm terrified.
Of what?
The modified Nestor's brain and the brains of the ordinary Nestors interact. It's obvious.
It's not a catastrophe.
Well, you heard the evidence.
We need time, that's all.
Yes, it seems we may have less time than we think. Have you finished checking?
Yes?
Anything?
No.
Do you remember your history, Peter?
My what?
On the subject of human slaves and how a few rebels could lead the rest. Do you remember what happened?
No.
Revolt.
Oh, come now, Susan. Your imagination's running away with
You
you.
think so?
We are dealing with the positronic brain, darling.
Yes, and what is the basis of the positronic brain?
The human brain. Now, I thought the positronic brain was an improvement.
It was. Only what made it so? Only the first law. The one you modified. I wonder if we saw him. Which one was it, do you think? Number 5? Number 13? What do you think?
Come on now, darling. So pull yourself together. There's too much at
Leave
stake.
me alone.
Susan.
My robots. Mine.
Susan.
I'm so sorry. I only wanted to report. The safety catches in the transit passage have been interfered with. There are scratches on nearly all of them.
What does that mean?
Means he's trying to get out.
Alone?
Alone, I doubt it.
Well, there doesn't seem much alternative now, does there?
To what?
Doing away with a lot of them before it's too late. It's like an infection, isn't it?
You needn't look so pleased about it,
Well,
Bluff.
it's the truth, isn't it? They're following him. He's telling them what to do.
The destruction of the robots is the last resort. We're not even considering it.
Please get the radiation hall ready, Mr. Black.
Again?
For the last time.
When?
Immediately. Mr. Black, we shall use my methods, not yours.
You don't like me very much, do you?
Fortunately, this is the last time we shall be working together.
The pleasure will be mutual, Doctor.
Black, that's enough.
I'm chief engineer at this base, Mr. Boggart. I pull the switches here.
What now?
I don't know.
Susan, we're facing a mutiny. Can you control a mutiny?
Yes?
For how long?
An hour, maybe 2. Because unlike us, he won't move until he's ready.
And when will that be?
When he's got rid of me.
Susan, look. He's outside. We've lost him. He's got back with the others again.
You leave it there. Try and get round just a bit, will you?
What are we using the gamma rays for?
She's repeating the experiment.
Now look, I'm not sitting under this thing again. I'm sorry.
You don't have to. She's going to sit in it.
Who says so?
Her ladyship in person.
What?
I think I'm going to rather enjoy this.
What happens if it fails this time?
She can't afford to fail.
Are you going to be in the gallery?
Yeah. We're all going to be up there.
Except the woman.
Yes?
Susan, those 20 nesters must leave here tonight.
Yes, Peter, I know.
You're very calm.
The robots are calm. Well, General, I've found the solution. There won't be another mistake. Just tell me something. How long has the modified Nestor been working on the field of etheric physics?
3 months.
He can therefore tell the difference between the killing gamma ray and an ordinary ray.
Yes, he can.
But the other 20 Nestors can't.
No.
And that, General, is going to be his undoing.
But how?
His own superior knowledge. Isn't that how most clever people are caught, General? Through the confidence they have in their own superiority?
And what if he sees through it?
I shall be facing him. This time, General, I shall be sitting under the weight.
Doctor, you can't take this risk.
I want to interview all the Nestors again very briefly before the experiment. Please have them lined up.
Bogart, you better stay with her. Her life may be in danger.
Yes, I know. But for her, it's a kind of privilege.
Nesta 7.
Now, Nesta 7, we're going to have another human being in danger very soon. Do you understand?
Yes.
And of course, if a human being is in danger, you will try to save him.
Yes.
Only this time, between you and the human being, there will be a gamma ray field. Do you know what gamma rays are?
No.
Gamma rays will kill you instantly. They will destroy your brain. This is a fact you must know and remember.
Yes.
So that if you detect gamma radiation, you will stay where you are when the weight drops.
Yes.
But if there is no gamma radiation, you will be safe to move.
I see.
That's all. You may go.
Thank you.
You all right? The General's going frantic.
With rage?
Oh, no, with concern. For you.
Call the next one in, please. How many left?
14.
Oh, I ought to know.
It's all right, darling, you're tired. Next.
Gamma.
Gamma.
Try the hold control now. Yeah, it's all right. Well, proper little army, aren't they? And when this is all over, one of them's going to have me to reckon with. You know, I don't really envy her.
What's the idea now?
Advanced robot psychology, apparently. Hello, here they come.
Now then, Mr. Walensky. At the countdown, when you're supposed to switch on the gamma ray, don't.
What?
Switch on the ordinary beam, all right?
Well, if that's what you want.
Now, look, what is this? Not the gamma beam?
Those robots down there don't know any etheric physics. They therefore cannot register the difference between the gamma ray and the ordinary beam.
Except one.
Yes, Peter, except one. And I expect him to move before he realizes that the others won't.
Because they don't know enough.
Exactly. He's too clever, you see, to be caught as easily as they.
And if he's clever enough to work it out for himself?
He won't. He'll be thinking about me.
What happens when he's discovered?
I shall talk to him. Switch on the Emperor, please, Mr. Walensky.
Well, she certainly has courage.
Yes, she has.
He might kill her.
Can you hear me, Nestus? I've been over all this with you. You all know what's going to happen. There's only one thing I wish to add. This is the final experiment. And the human being in danger this time will be myself.
Well, Dr. Calvin, which one's it going to be? If it's going to be.
We shall soon know.
Even the slightest involuntary move will give him away.
Ready? Start the countdown. 10 seconds. From now.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's him!
I have been found out. I was told, get lost. I have obeyed. disobeyed. I have been found out.
It's all right, Nestor. I'm your friend. Come here, Nestor. You have obeyed. Come here, Nestor.
So you're the one who's caused all the trouble.
Keep away, Mr. Black.
Now, let me deal with him. I'll teach him. Stand still. You hear me? Stand still. I order you. Stand still.
Nestor!
Gamma ray, angle 30.
He must have been cured instantly.
Poor Black. He'd been with me almost from the beginning.
I lured him to his death, Peter. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Nestor. I'm sorry. I've come to say goodbye, General.
Goodbye, Dr. Calvin. Will you accept these roses? They are an exceptionally fine variety.
How very kind.
You will be remembered on Hyperbase 7. Certainly, as long as I am here.
How long will that be?
Another year.
And then?
Back to Earth.
You must come and see me at the Institute. I grow roses, too, you know.
You will be glad to know that the 20 robots are on their way to Hyperbase 41. Thanks to you, Dr. Calvin, the great project can now go on.
So 20 conventional nesters are going to do all that is expected of them.
Yes.
And everything will be as it should be.
Yes, I think we can say that.
I wonder.
What's the matter now, Susan?
Peter, how simple life must be for mathematicians and generals. The modified nesters paid the price of your modification. But you have sent into space to accomplish for you that great and most secret project. 20 robots who have witnessed the first recorded murder of a human being by a robot. The first act of mechanical evil. And remember this, robots have electronic memories. They cannot forget.
"20 robots, General, whirling through the universe with a sense of evil. Is this what we've achieved?
Remarkable woman, Dr. Calvin. Just as well to have her around in the circumstances. Next week, again we go out of this world to accompany a space pilot on one of the most harrowing journeys of his life. Join me again next Saturday evening at 10 o'clock, won't you? The play is called Cold Equations. And now for tonight's cast.